Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is JT from Above and Below the Belt. I want to talk about something about the sport of boxing, of course. And it was Blue Blood. He said something about his boxing solely based on race. And who's that? Fresh One Media Counterpunch Boxing News. He had to come back and rebuttal what Blue Blood Sports was saying, and I wouldn't disagree with Fresh One Media Counterpunch Boxing News what he said, but the thing about it is what he said about Mikey Garcia being a Mexican. No, he's Mexican by descent. He's American. So what you talking about? Canelo Alvarez is Mexican because he's born in Mexico, but he's a white man, a Caucasian man. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a reddish hair and I believe the dude speak English too at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But that don't have nothing to do with what we talking about. But the thing about it is, Mikey Garcia was born in California. Canelo Alvarez was born in Mexico. But another thing too, prejudice is on both sides at the same time. I can understand where Blue Blood was coming from to a certain extent, but Fresh One Media Punch Boxing News, he was technically right what he was talking about, because Blue Blood is going off of race, not nationality. But at the same time, this is a free country. You can do what you want to do at the same time. And another thing too, at the same time, I want to like Blue Blood, or me as me being a black guy, or any black guy was born in Mexico. Okay, if he was born in Mexico and stuff like that, he was a boxer, he would be Mexican because he was born in Mexico. Now let me ask you this: if he was a great boxer, would the Mexican back him because he looked black? Some would and some won't, because they go off of, well, he was born here, but he's not really. They would say he's not really Mexican. That's what some people would say. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real, you know what I'm saying. So nationality is different from race, of course. But then, if you ask Mexicans what is a race, what they think Hispanic and Latinos race. That ain't race. That's culture. You know what I'm saying? So another thing too, he said something about Lennox Lewis and Anthony Joshua don't get along. Of course, everybody in London is not gonna get along. But I do believe this is my speculation. I think more Londoners do stick together a little bit more than Americans stick together. But it's kind of funny because look what happened to Oscar De La Hoya fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr. You seen that fight, and the thing about it with that situation was, Oscar De La Hoya he's American. He was born here. He's not Mexican. He's Mexican descent, like I'm African descent, of course. But at the same time, they was, you know what I'm saying, when Floyd Mayweather fought him, they both American guys. They both Americans. They both are Americans. You know what I'm saying? Different race. But who you think the Mexicans, even the Mexicans or Mexican Americans, who you think they was rooting for to a certain degree? They was rooting for Oscar De La Hoya instead of Floyd Mayweather Jr. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say because he was black, or maybe he was. We don't know. You know what I'm saying, to a certain extent. But at the same time, they both Americans. See, Americans don't stick together like that. I can understand where Blue Blood is coming from when he said the reason why he come with his projective on it. Everybody, Blue Blood knows what's the difference between nationality and race. He knows the difference now. He ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? I think Fresh One Media Counterpunch Boxing News just wanted to have something to talk about, which he was technically right. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's talking about Kellen Plant. He's being American. I agree with Fresh One Media Counterpunch and Boxing said. You know what I'm saying? But are we Americans together like that? We are and we are not. You know what I'm saying? If it was a great white boxer out there who was like 40-0, and it was a black boxer out there, both of them have to be Americans, who do you think the white people is going to vote for? How many do you think the white Americans and black Americans are going to vote for? This country was brought on racism. This country was built off of racism. It was built off of slaves. So we are getting better, of course, but at the same time, I don't got no problem with a white person voting for somebody who's white, and a black person who's want the black guy to win. You know what I'm saying? But we are not together like most countries think, like most countries are. You know what I'm saying? And we all Americans, but you know, the white Americans gonna vote for just gonna probably rally in behind a white fighter who got 0 losses and 40 wins, just like the black fighters who like the black Americans. You know what I'm saying? So, but I understand what Fresh One Media Punch Boxing was talking about. He was talking about he said something like you shouldn't have to root for a person because they black. Yeah, you're right about that. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. But you can't you can't disagree with somebody rooting for somebody black because they black too. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that too. You know what I'm saying? If a Mexican want to vote somebody, want to root for somebody Mexican, I don't got no problem with that. That's a nationality. That's not race. And like I say, I'm going back to even Mexicans don't know what race they are because they got Hispanic. That's not a race. Latino's not a race. His Mexican's not a race. You know what I'm saying? I could be born in Mexico and be Mexican. But if I was a boxer, would they back me? Would they root for me? I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? I don't think they'll probably root for me because they'll say, well, I think someone would say that, well, he's not truly Mexican. That's what someone would say. I think a large number of them will say that. You know what I'm saying? You know, so, I mean, I understand where Blue Blood was coming from too at the same time, but Blue Blood knows what's the difference between a nationality and race. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, I don't think we should have to root for somebody because they black too at the same time. You root for somebody white. You know what I'm saying? But I wonder with somebody Mexican, they know because but they know. Don't get it confused. Some Mexicans will root for somebody. Some will root for somebody black. Some blacks will root for somebody. Or some Americans will root for somebody Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, I'm getting the difference mixed up to a certain degree to it. Because people, when you keep on saying it, because people always saying black and Mexican. Black and Mexican. If you're saying black and Mexican, you're saying Anthony Joshua. You're saying Dylan White. You're saying Adonis Stevenson. They're not African Americans. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they are black. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing I wanted to talk about too at the same time when I want to talk about what's you know what Fresh Room Media Counter Punch Boxing News was talking about at the same time. He was technically right. You know what I'm saying? And Blue Blood Sport TV at the same time. He knows the difference between a nationality and race at the same time, and or it could be a possibility. He probably don't know it. As I'm thinking about it now, but I knew what he was getting at because even on HBO, they was bringing in a lot of European fighters. You know what I'm saying? And the black fighters, you know what I'm saying? They had plenty of American fighters over here. They wasn't just showcasing them like that, and they was headed probably Floyd Mayweather Jr. American, and I think some you know, ain't nothing wrong with want to see somebody look like you in the ring. Ain't nothing wrong with rooting for somebody that look like you in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, I don't care if it's nationality or race, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's all about it's a free country. You can do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it, man. At the same time, like I say, Mikey Garcia is not Mexican. He's American. He's Mexican descent, but he's American. You know what I'm saying? Abner Mares he's a Mexican American. He was born in Mexico, and he got a citizenship. He's got his citizenship here in America. So now he's a Mexican American. If you get an African from Africa to come over here and get a citizenship, he will be African American. See, me, I used to say I'm African American, but I don't know nothing about Africa. So I am American. You know what I'm saying? Or black American. You can call me American or black American. It don't matter. You know, if you call me African American, I mean, you know, I am African. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I am African descent, but I am American because that would disrespect my ancestor who was brought over here, who built this country to at the same time. So I'm American. You know, so I was born here, so I'm obviously American. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I say, if Mike Garcia want to call himself a Mexican American, I don't, you know, that's more freedom to him at the same time. But he is American. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, man, I just wanted to talk to you about this. I think it is based on nationality and race. You know what I'm saying? It's based on both. You know what I'm saying? Or ethnicity. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think it makes this sports a little bit. I think it makes the sport go a little bit. It has a little entertainment to it at the same time. So it make you want to see it. You know what I'm saying? The American fighter against a black American fighter against a Mexican fighter, or it could be Puerto Rican fighter against a Mexican fighter, or a European fighter against a Mexican fighter, or a American fighter against a European fighter. So, but if I got any questions, leave a comment at the bottom of my page. Subscribe to my page, like my page, hit the notification button for new videos from me. This is JG from Above and Below the Belt. All right, bye.